Evening, and welcome to episode 13, Lucky 13 of Swiss Army Sports. Today is October 9th in the Big 25, a day before the greatest day on the earth. It is Thursday. Usually we're on Wednesday. We're on Thursday. Old Luke had a date last night.
Just airing it out already.
Yeah. We got to let the people know why we're recording a day late. By my side on the table is Luke Wallman, my co-host, former Hendricks College Warrior D3 athlete. At the table for the first time on episode 13, the producer, local frat boy from Mississippi State. And I'm your host, Will Spain, former long snapper for the Troy Trojans, Ospey Governors, and partially Houston Cougars. Today is, again, 10-9, so it is our Week 7 college football picks and preview. Our Week 6 NFL picks and preview. Best bets for both. We got our breakout players for Week 7. Who to pick up on the wire for the NFL side. Our MLB playoff peek in. We've got UFC Fight Night Brazil after a banger 320 last weekend. Our picks and preview for that. NHL weekend preview. And our who's hot and who's not of the week as we do during the weekdays. As always, let's dig right into it here for our college football picks and preview. It's our slate, our 7 big games, and we're kicking off on a Friday. USF heads into Denton, Texas, plays North Texas. They're trying to get up for this game, North Texas says. It's a big game for G5 college football playoff ramifications. I'm going with the Bulls, and this has been a pretty pro USF podcast all year. I mean, North Texas, granted they blew out Washington State 59-10. Other than that, they haven't really played anybody. Struggled against Western Michigan on the road. Went to overtime. I like USF in the spot. Better defense. Like Brown at the helm. They were able to turn the ball over like 4 times and still beat Charlotte by 30. So, give me USF. Luke, what are you thinking on this game?
No, they need to limit the turnovers, like you said, against Charlotte. Played very sloppy, but it was tough. North Texas is their first ever sold-out football game in the history of the school. Crowd's going to be rocking, but I like scheduling that USF has had to prevail in this type of environment. I mean, you went to the Swamp in one. Now, granted, Florida is not the Florida we thought they were. But,
well, some people on this table think they still are, but...
but, I mean, still, that's a good win. You're going to the Swamp. So, give me USF. And tight.
Producer.
Crazy the one time I don't pick Florida, they beat Texas, which sucks. But yeah, USF, they're the more tested team, and they've been in the rough environments, just like Luke said. So I think it will be a close game, but I think the USF gets it done.
100%. This is the matchup we've all been waiting for, guys. It's the shitter showdown. UMass, you asked, is heading to Kent State in the matchup of the year. UMass made me sweat my Western Michigan cover last week. So for that reason only, and because Kent State's quarterback is questionable, so he's battling something. And if, any sort of hindrance to Kent State, it has to be amplified. So, with their only win being against Merrimack, 21-17 Kent State, UMass is 0-5. They're due. They're so due. Neither team has had an FBS win in over 2 years. Give me the UMass Minutemen to end the streak on the road at Kent State and get their first MAC victory since rejoining the conference. Luke, Michael, y'all differ from me? Yeah. Luke, go first.
I mean, I was big on Kent State before the year. I had them winning I think 3 or 4 games. I was massive on them. I did think I had them beat Buffalo, which they lost by 3. Which, Buffalo, I don't know. Buffalo's Buffalo. But for Kent State, that's a huge step in beating a Power 5 team. I think the Golden Flashes get this done at home this week against UMass. They take the dub.
Michael.
I got 2 words from the great Luke Wallman. Home team.
Amen.
It's about all you can go off on in this matchup. More interestingly, The Alabama Crimson Tide coming off a big win against the best team in the SEC, Vanderbilt. They're heading on the road, playing Missouri, who's undefeated. I've got the Tigers here. I think Missouri's ability to score on offense, both on the ground and in the air, is going to overwhelm Alabama. They basically had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. They had a bye week last week, and they played UMass the week before. Really love Missouri in this spot. I think give it, if they played last week, like, if it was the same scenario for both teams, I think Bama probably squeaks this one out. But essentially, 3 full weeks of practice to prepare for Bama. Give me Missouri. Coach Drake has it going in Columbia. I really believe in this Missouri team. And I'm just not sold on Bama yet. I think Vanderbilt played their way out of that game more than Bama winning that game. So give me the Missouri Tigers. Luke, you agree?
No, I completely agree because I think this is going to be – now, obviously, Missouri's ranked, but I think it's going to be kind of a situation last year. You just beat Georgia, and now you're going into Vandy, not thinking anything of it. Oh, you just beat Vandy, and you beat Georgia. Now you're going to Missouri, which I love for Beulah. And is it Harvey?
Yeah.
Right?
You'll see.
The running back. He's a dog. He's been my dog of the week before. Vandy kind of was able to run the ball with some ease against Bama. And I think with this Missouri offense being heavy of a rushing attack as they are, it is going to kind of create some issues keeping the ball away from Bama, milking that clock. I got Missouri in the type one.
The producer, you disagree?
I do. And I was not big on the year on Ty Simpson, but he has won me over this year. And again, I'm going with a more tested team. I think that Alabama's way more tested. They've had the hard games. And we went against – well, I did. I don't know if y'all picked – I think we all did. Did we all pick Georgia against Alabama?
Yeah, we swept them.
We all did.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not doing that again. Away. They put one at Georgia. They're going to win at Missouri.
Fair enough. The Indiana Hoosiers are heading to Oregon. So with the Oregon Ducks in the College Game Day site. My heart wanted to pick Indiana this game. I'm going to go with the Ducks, traveling out west for Big Ten teams. You know, as we saw with Penn State last week. Typically doesn't go well. And plus, Oregon's a very tested team after heading to the Penn State whiteout, although we don't know what we got with Penn State. Indiana, yeah, they blew out Illinois, but Mendoza looked a little bit more shaky last week. Give me Oregon to win this one in a tight game. I think they do cover the 7.5, but it's not going to be a blowout. It'll be like a 10, 14-point game. Give me the Ducks.
Yeah, I'm only picking – I want Indiana to win, but I'm picking Oregon because we have seen all throughout the year when the Big Ten or even in the ACC, when they crap – walk it off.
Yeah, I believe breaking news, the Los Angeles Dodgers
they did just walk off.
have just walked it off against the Phillies. Wow.
Okay.
Man.
Well, when we see all these Big Ten or ACC schools that are going all over the place, they tend to not play well. And I kind of think what's going to happen in Indiana, they're going to start slow. Oregon's just going to be clicking on all cylinders. So I got Oregon in a tight one.
Michael.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason, Will kind of knows this also. But since like Marcus Mariota's been there, I've just been a huge Oregon fan.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I was in love with them last year. Y'all probably aren't going to agree, but last year, before the season I said that Oregon was going to be the national champion, and then they got destroyed by Ohio State. But I haven't watched a lot of Oregon games there. But Dante Moore is legit. And they talked about him a little bit last year when Dylan Gabriel was the quarterback, that he was ready for moments like, and we saw it in Penn State. And I think Oregon wins by 14+.
The Red River Robbery. In the Cotton
Luke's
Bowl.
going to hate my pick.
The Oklahoma Sooners. Boomer Sooner. Are playing the fraudulent Texas Longhorns. Look, Michael Hawkins Jr., John Mateer, doesn't matter. Oklahoma is winning this football game based on defense and Arch Manning's inability to throw the ball at all. He sits in the pocket too long. He's either going to take a sack or throw a pick. The only way Texas wins this football game is if Troy legend Matthew Caldwell comes in and plays for Texas. I think they've got too much money invested in Arch for Matthew to come in and play. But here's the thing. Like, I'm sitting down watching this Texas-Florida game. Had way too many times on Texas Live. Matthew comes in, does a 22-yard seed on 3rd and 22 to convert the first down. They put Arch back in the game after his helmet fell off. Throws a pick. It got called back, but it was a pick. Ended up not going down the field to score. Look, it's night and day. I would rather have Oklahoma's backup and Michael Hawkins Jr. than Arch Manning. I do not think this Texas team is built to win this year. I think Sarkisian becomes on the hot seat after he loses to Oklahoma and to Mississippi State. Give me the Sooners.
I agree. I think Hawkins played in a bunch of big games last year, so it's not like we talked about it last week.
We did.
He's not untested. I mean, so if Mateer plays, if he doesn't play, that's not the point.
Mateer plays, it's not even close.
Oklahoma's defense is the best defense in the country statistically, by far. They have they have the number one scoring defense. They have I think the 3rd rush defense, the number 1 pass defense. They are the best defense by far in the conference. And I'll talk about a little impact player on the next slide, but I think they're going to get after Arch this week. And horns down.
Horns down, dude. But let's hear from the producer. Why'd you take Texas?
You just have some gut feelings on games, and I have a weird feeling of this game. There's too much heat on Texas and on Arch. Do I think Arch is going to win this game? No. I think that mistakes are made on the Oklahoma offense, and I think the Texas defense is going to win this game for Oklahoma. For Texas. I think the Texas defense is going to win this game. And that's not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to what I was saying. This game is won on the defensive side for Texas. I think that Hawkins makes mistakes, a lot of them actually. And I think the Texas defense just is aggressive. They're going to send packages at them. They got the skill guys. And even if Mateer plays, that is just the worst move by Oklahoma, because even if they lose this game, they're still set very well. So I would take the week, have Mateer rest longer, get him ready for like an Ole Miss game. And if you win, you win. But if you lose, it's not the biggest thing in the world. And I think that's low-key kind of the Oklahoma mindset right now. Even though it's a Red River rivalry, I like Texas to win a game.
I think he's trying to play, though, because it's the Red River rivalry, and it's one of the bigger rivalries in sports.
I think Mateer's fine. That surgeon's he's a wizard. And
look at his eyes. That's all I got to say.
But
that's all I got to say.
It's just way too early to come back. And if he comes
You're
back...
You're right. Oklahoma wins this game with or without Mateer.
Yes. They probably will.
Yeah, they do.
But I honestly, it's just a gut feeling. It is just a gut feeling. And I'm not going to go away from a gut. You know what my gut was? You know what my gut was last week? The Cardinals not covering against the Titans.
It was. He was 100% correct on that. Wow, that was a crazy game. The Georgia Dogs heading into Jordan-Hare Stadium to play the Auburn Tigers in the South's oldest rivalry. I'll let y'all start this. I'll counter y'all. Luke, you went with Georgia. The producer went with Georgia. Luke, start us off.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Auburn. I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. Jackson Arnold is Peyton Thorne, but he's just a little taller and a little stronger. That's all he is. He is a awful quarterback. I don't like Georgia's defense, but I am not really confident in this Auburn offense at all. They've been one of the worst on 3rd down. I think, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? They were averaging 10 yards per 3rd down.
No, it was 11 so and there was a stat. Yeah, do the stat.
It was better for them to spike the football than to actually play offense. This offense is abysmal. I think that Georgia handles them. I think Georgia's battle-tested. Going into Jordan-Hare, it's going to be an issue, but I don't think it'll be as big of an issue. I mean, they went to Neyland and won, so I like Georgia to win this game comfortably.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of you on that. I'm just not confident in this Auburn offense whatsoever. I mean, literally all Georgia has to do is just bracket Cam Coleman and then commit to the run. That's all they have to do. Arnold can't throw it as good. I mean, yeah, he's literally just Peyton Thorne.
Yeah.
I mean, low key, this game could not be close in the first half, and they could put in the 5-star freshman, see what he does against Georgia.
I know.
I would let him do it. Just see what he
I
does.
think we talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
At the beginning of the year is how long till he goes in, because a bunch of Auburn fans are saying that dude can sling the rock.
Yeah, well, they're paying Arnold a good amount of money, though, is the problem.
That is the problem. Well, Weagle, War Damn Eagle, kick him in the butt, big blue. I'm going with Auburn.
Yeah, I have no clue what you just said, but okay.
If y'all remember from last year, there was a game that Auburn had no business winning. It was a home game. It was at night. Some certain people kept, hammered down on a certain team, and Auburn was able to get it done. Now, this game's in Athens. Auburn loses by 40. However, this game is not in Athens. It's in Auburn, Alabama. Jordan Hare is an incredible atmosphere. Here's statistically why I think it's going to happen. 72nd and third down percentage defensive-wise for Georgia in the country. 92nd in passing. I think Coleman's could be a factor. I think it's a very low-scoring affair. And I think Auburn ekes it out 24-20. In a very... Play the under, whatever it is. I don't give a shit what it is. Play the under. I like Auburn. I like Auburn at home. Talk about home teams. Give me Auburn. And talk about not being sold on a team this year. I am not sold on Georgia at all. Not sold on Georgia. Not sold on Stockton. Completely take back everything I said preseason about Georgia. So,
Yeah, you had Georgia going 13-0.
yeah, I was wrong. I meant enough to say I'm wrong, but didn't have Texas and Florida in the playoff.
I've been wrong a lot, too.
I got South Carolina in mine. So.
Yeah. So there we are.
Your boy had the U.
Did.
Hey, Michael did call Miami, though. I got to give him that. But yeah, give me Auburn here. Finally, we're wrapping up with Big Blue Nation heading out west to Southern California. We're all going Big Blue across the board here. I'll fly with USC, but I think Michigan too much on the ground. USC's defense at elite. I think Michigan's defense is pretty damn good, so I think they're going to be able to halter USC and Maeva. And I think, Michigan. Don't care if it's out west. Give me the Big Blue. It's a later game anyway, so I don't think it's going to play that much of an effect.
I'll go. Let the Michigan fan talk last.
Yeah, so, Michael, why does Michigan win?
I see a lot of similarities in the national championship team and this team. I'm not going to lie. Elite running back. Even though he's a freshman, he's still a game manager right now. Like, he can manage the game, and their defense is very good. I think the main reason is I just see a lot of similarities in the national championship team. And I think this is like a separation game. When you think of the Big Ten elites right now, this year, you pretty much only think of Ohio State and Oregon. But I do think that Michigan creeps into that tier one of the Big Ten with this game. And we all know that Penn State has fallen to tier F.
Oh, they are in tier F.
They're relegated. All right.
Yeah, I mean, send them to the MAC.
Michigan is in that tier right now with, you could say, probably USC, Indiana, and Illinois. And you could probably say that Indiana is like in between with that great win against Illinois. But I think that Michigan looks great here. On the road, gets the job done.
Luke, why is Michigan winning this football game?
I think we run the football extremely well, and teams that can run the football and play defense win football.
100%.
I mean, and you got to think, if you're coming off, they play at 6:30. So the time really, I mean, you're going to be a little jet lagged, but the time is not going to be like Indiana or Oregon would have to come out to Indiana and play it. It's not like that. So the time is fine, but I'm a little worried. I think they will start off slow, but I think the running game, Justice Haynes is going to have a legacy game this week.
All right, that wraps up our picks for Week 7 of college football. Who's going to pop off in Week 7? We've got 3 opinions this week. As aforementioned, I love Ahmad Hardy in this game. I don't think Alabama's ability to defend the run is great. They made some adjustments against Vanderbilt, but I think Pavia tried to force too much. There's not going to be a lot of option. Be a lot of stretch, a lot of inside zone. Ahmad Hardy's going to open up the passing game, but I think he gets 2 touchdowns against Bama defense. And I think Ahmad Hardy is the reason why Missouri beats Alabama at home. So, therefore, he is who's going to pop up in Week 7? Luke. I love the defensive pick, dude.
No, and I will say this is his real name. R. Mason Thomas. I could not find what the R stood for. That is his name. But he's one of the best pass rushers in the country. He's an elite pass rusher. I was looking at his stats. The only game he didn't really play well was Michigan, and then Illinois State, but that might have just been because he didn't play a significant amount of time. But he was SEC Player of the Week 2 weeks ago when he played Auburn with 4 tackles, 2 sacks, all solo. Then he had 6 tackles last week with a sack. I mean, he's going to get a sack this week. And I think he's going to cause Arch to run around a little bit because, like we said, Arch hangs onto the ball a little bit.
Way too much.
I think he's going to get back there for a few sacks, and he's going to be a game wrecker.
Michael.
I know why I have fallen in love with this Maryland team, even though they lost last week. But I don't know. I think that they're going to cover this week, and I think Malik Washington's a huge reason why. Do they not play Washington this week?
Michael. There's a certain pig sheet that we have a certain team to cover, and it is not Maryland. And they did not play Washington.
Who do they play?
So Rutgers plays Washington this week.
The producer.
They played Washington last week.
Yes, they did. We may have. They played Nebraska this week.
Nebraska. That's who it is. Gosh darn it. Oh, well.
Hey, guys, it's been a while since it's been on the
It has
pod.
been. Yeah.
Low budget operation.
Okay. I like them against Nebraska. I mean, I can't believe I did that because, I was talking about Maryland covering against Nebraska.
Yes, you were.
Earlier in the week. But I'm not huge on Nebraska.
I am, though.
Yeah. That's what me and Will butted heads about this. And
Raiola's winning this base.
I was just thinking because Maryland was 6.5-point favorites last week against Washington at home, and they covered. They lost by 4, which is a close game, which means it's anyone's game. But I actually think they get the job done this week against Nebraska. Home game, quarterback's going to go off against this Nebraska defense, which is actually a pretty statistically good defense. But I do think that he lets a couple loose and has a couple big plays, and Maryland wins.
Malik Washington for Michael. R. Mason Thomas for Luke. And me, Ahmad Hardy.
My bad. They're playing Nebraska.
And they are playing Nebraska. For people watching on YouTube, Spotify, don't have to worry about it. Our best bets, just me and Luke on our bets this week. I love Old Dominion minus 14.5 against Marshall. It's a terrible Marshall team. A little bit of a rivalry with West Virginia and Virginia. Old Dominion is rolling in the Sun Belt. Colton Joseph, named to look out for, quarterback for Old Dominion. He is going to beat Marshall by 28 plus. I think the line is generous at 14.5. That is a whale play. A&M at home against Florida. I don't care if they beat Texas. I think Texas is terrible. So, on the road for Florida, going to A&M. A&M proved to me last week against my dogs in Mississippi State that they are legit. And they're not going to drop that they, usually drop yet. Love the 7.5 here. Florida is not good. I will repeat that time and time again. Florida is not good. So Texas A&M will cover these 7.5. Texas Tech minus 14.5. This is the best team in the Big 12 by and far. They're going to hammer Kansas. I don't care how old their quarterback is. 14.5 makes me a little bit nervous. Liked it more at 13.5, but also take it at 14.5 against Kansas for Texas Tech. Oklahoma money line, lock it in. That's a whale play. They're not losing this football game against Texas. Texas is terrible. If I said Florida's terrible, then hell, Texas is. What is it? What is even that? So Texas hadn't looked all year. Any game they've played, someone that's remotely competent, they've struggled. I mean, hell, they struggled against UTEP, and you saw what UTEP did last night against Liberty. So give me Oklahoma on the money line. That is a whale play. And then, dude, I love this play. Illinois plus 14.5 is free money. I don't think Ohio State's that dominant and able to score at will like they would against Minnesota versus this Illinois defense. I think defensively they're going to give troubles for Altmaier, but I do think Illinois is able to score with Altmaier and on the ground. I think it's a very low-scoring affair, so I almost took the under here, but I like Illinois plus 14.5. They could lose 28-14, and you still cover. So, give me Illinois. Luke, what are your best bets?
So, Ole Miss minus 31.5 against Washington State. You're telling me North Texas can beat them by 50? I think Ole Miss, who has a reputation of just beating the crap out of people.
That, aren't good. They run the score up on bad teams, so I agree.
So, they can beat them by 31.5. Then, Oklahoma money line. That is the line as of an hour ago when I was getting out of class. So, it has dropped a little bit. I actually got it when it opened at like plus 130.
Hell yeah.
We love it. But Oklahoma, we already touched on it. I think they absolutely just handle Texas. Then I got TCU They play at Kansas State. I am not bought in on this Kansas State team. I don't know why it's 1.5. I think TCU's looked pretty good this year. Hoover, I think, is a really good game. Dominates through the air, and they win at least by a touchdown. Then I got a bunch of Big 12 picks this week.
I see that.
And I got BYU. They play Arizona. I have not been impressed with Arizona. It's 1.5. Arizona hasn't played a soul when I was looking at it earlier.
Yeah, and they got blown up by Iowa State.
Yes.
You know what we feel about Iowa State on this podcast.
I don't think Iowa State's that great, and they barely beat Kansas State, and they blew out Oklahoma State. Now, that parlays. And then my next is Houston. They play.
C-O-U-G-A-R-S. We talking about them Cougars.
They play at Oklahoma State, who, as we saw last week, is a doormat. So I think they can easily cover that 14.5. As long as Wyman has a good game, they should easily be able to cover this. That is why I like Houston, 14.5.
Yeah, a little insider info here. I think White Bet plays. Just by the way, guys. Moving on from our best bets, pivoting to the professional side of things here with the NFL for Week 4 NFL predictions. The game's going on right now. Not looking good for us. We have the Eagles. We definitely have the Eagles to cover in certain things. They are losing right now to the Giants, 20-17 in the third quarter, but we are all the Eagles here. We're on the Broncos against the Jets. You know, I'm a grade A Bronco hater. However, the Jets are terrible, so we can go with the Broncos. We're on the boys against the Panthers. You never know what Panthers team you're going to get. They won last week, so they're sure as hell going to lose this week.
Yeah.
We look good.
Dude, I know. And I'll say this whole slate, like for our picks, it's way too one-sided. Hate it.
Yeah, we're gonna get bitten.
It's like, oh, man.
The Colts are playing the Cardinals. If any team's going to lose the Titans, I immediately lose faith in you. I'm also big on the Colts, big on Indiana Jones. So give me the Colts. Everybody's got the Colts here. Everybody's got the Chargers against the Dolphins. Everybody's got the Pats against the Saints. And for the first time now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the 7th game on our slate, we differ.
Hey.
Me and Luke are logical and sensible and have taken the Steelers at home against Dylan Gabriel and the Browns. I think the Steelers' defense keeps Gabriel at bay. I think the Browns have the best defense in the NFL. However, I think Aaron Rodgers will be able to score enough points, like 14, to beat this Browns team. Michael, why are the Browns going to beat the Steelers?
Dylan Gabriel actually looked good last week, and I think that he gets his first dub here. To be honest, haven't been a Steelers fan this whole year, and I'm probably going to continue to fade them even when they win. I'm not a big Rodgers fan in his 15th year in the NFL. I just think like the Steelers are like the definition of mid. Like you have teams like the Patriots who might lose to a bad team, but then they go and beat the Bills. I really think the Steelers are just like the definition of mid, which is true because they finish 9-8
every year.
Yeah. But I think this is one of I guess what you could say like a peak game for the Browns, a divisional game. Dylan Gabriel is going to get his first win.
This is a huge game for the Steelers because you've got Lamar out, you've got the Burrows out, and you've got the Browns.
You have to kind of think the Steelers have to kind of jump on this while they can.
Yes, so they have got to win some games, and I have the Steelers, I think, going like 11 wins this year.
Crazy. It's kind of looking like that.
I know, and especially with how many people are hurting that division, it is totally looking like it. And I will say though, their defense has played better. I still am worried.
Oh, me too.
So I just hope they can kind of keep Gabriel.
We all have the Jaguars.
I cannot believe we are chalk on this game.
I can't either.
Trouble.
I floated with the Seahawks. I really like what Sam Darnold's doing there. Way better than I thought they were going to be. I do think that win last week against the Chiefs really kind of solidified Jacksonville being an AFC contender this year. They have all three facets of the game. They're really good defensively. They have their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. So they have the passing game. Brian Thomas finally getting involved. They've got multiple lower tier weapons on the outside that they're able to use for production. And I mean, you got Travis Etienne in the backfield. So I really like the Jaguars in this spot. We went chalk, obviously, with Cooper Rush and the Ravens losing to the Rams. We went with the Rams. We differ again here, though. Michael, he's been big. He's done this a couple times. He's done this a couple times this year. Me and Luke, sensible, are on Geno Smith.
How
Well, I
can
don't
we
even know
say-
how this is sensible, to be honest
It's
with you.
not
It's
sensible.
really not even sensible. This is the UMass Kent State of the NFL right
Yes.
here.
Geno,
The Tennessee Titans are heading to the Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders. I've got the Raiders strictly because I think Ashton Jeanty may run for 250 yards against the Titans defense. But, yeah, I can't even trash on this pick because the Titans could win this game because Geno Smith has looked like a retirement home man out there
Looked like
at
Jets
quarterback.
Geno.
Yeah.
He's
So, Luke, why do the Raiders win this game?
I think Pete Carroll is gonna finally say we're gonna run the football here.
I mean, they need to run the damn
He
ball.
just hands it off. Geno is awful. Geno will one play just throw an absolute dot on the sideline perfectly in the breadbasket. Then he will throw in the quadruple coverage the next play. So like Geno's gonna throw for if you take
I mean, when your
Geno-
best, non-tight end weapon is Trey Tucker, so you're not really.
I
looking
know.
much,
And
but-
Bowers has
Bowers might
been
not
out.
play. So, but like honestly, if you took Geno to throw a pick every week, you would probably make a decent amount of money because he's got 9 interceptions already this year. Just let that sink in. I think he's got 9. If I'm gonna look this up, I think I saw a stat. I don't know if I got sent it.
Well, Luke looks that up.
Oh, he does have 9.
9, yeah, wow, damn. Michael, why did the Titans win this game?
Is it really week 4 of the NFL? I thought it was like week 6.
It's week 6, dude. We
Wow,
keep
we're killing it on this thing.
we have
I was about
continually
to say there's
not
no way he has 9
changed-
interceptions through
Yeah.
4 weeks.
We've continually not changed the header. Sorry, YouTube viewers. I mean, you're listening to us right now. You know it's week 6. Whatever.
That's
you can,
true.
you know,
Ball
you don't-
knowers know
you-
it's week 6.
Yeah, ball knowers know.
We missed.
I don't think really anyone looks
Yeah,
at
we
the
keep doing
pictures. They
this.
just listen anyway.
Yeah, they just
But,
listen. Hopefully y'all listen. Love y'all. Titans, Michael, why?
Coin flip game. And I think the Titans get hot here. Not only did I have the Titans win 12 games in my predictions, so
Yeah,
they
you
kind of need
did.
to get it going.
All right. Michael's going with his predictions here.
Yeah, let's talk about this pick here, bud. We got the Packers against the Bengals.
Tell me why the
at Green
y'all
Bay.
two go first here. The Bengals are heading to Green Bay. Luke, why is Green Bay winning this game?
I'm not drunk. That's why. I mean, I just like, but this, I will say, they've already lost their trap game with the Browns.
Correct.
It's not happening again. I mean,
Michael, why are the Packers winning?
You can change your pick right now. You know, we're going to come back to this.
Flacco! Oh!
the Bengals have something, or the Browns have something, excuse me, that the Bengals don't, which is a freaking defense. That's the only reason they won this game. Jordan Love is going to literally look like he was playing against the Cowboys. And Flacco is going to do his signature. I'm going to throw it in the triple coverage if he does even play. We don't even know. They might start Browning this week.
I know that Flacco's a
Flacco's
very
been
seasoned
named a starter.
veteran.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been on my phone all day, so.
What?
Flacco's been named the starter, and here. let me
Oh,
talk to
yeah.
you.
Well, I was going to say that even though Flacco's a seasoned veteran, you can't learn all the playbook in 1 week. And you're going against an elite NFC team. It's
Chase
I
Brown.
do see a world. I do see a world the Bengals win. I mean, obviously the Packers defense isn't that good because the Cowboys hung 40 also. So we could have a Jamar Chase kind of game, but
Look,
like I said
look
earlier in the
look,
game.
Look. The Packers' offense is not elite. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's get something out of the way. You just want to be like me in
No,
your
I don't.
NFL predictions.
No.
I actually picked the right games when people sweat the other way.
AC.
No. Look, you're giving me a competent veteran quarterback to throw the ball to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and hand it off to Chase Brown. Micah Parsons hadn't done crap.
What's the spread? I'm just asking.
I don't know.
Probably like
14 and a half.
Oh my God, it's a whale play, guys. It's a whale play.
Better
Take the
not be
Bengals on the
next
money
slide.
line. Here's the thing.
Next slide.
Joe Flacco is going to beat the Packers on 2 different teams in 6 weeks of the NFL.
It's got to
The Giants are about to be up 10.
We're in trouble
We'll get
on that
Screwed.
end.
It's not hidden.
That y'all's lot.
No, we would never lie
I
that.
know when I saw that, I will talk about
I should have known
Um,
when it moved
look,
from
here's
6
the
and a half
thing.
to 7.
The Bengals are winning this football game. Plain and simple.
Let's
we
move
all
on.
have the
We're all
Buccaneers.
chalk for the rest of these.
Yeah.
Except for the
All right.
last
So we're all chalk. Buccaneers beating the Niners, Lions beating the Chiefs,
I don't know why.
Bills beating the Falcons, and well, you thought we were all chalk. I've got the Commanders on Monday night beating the Bears. The Jayden Daniels look better. They beat the Chargers last week on the road. Come back home. Don't like the Bears. Think they're terrible. So give me the Commanders.
I think the Bears get a little revenge this year. A Hail Mary crap from last year.
I didn't even think about that.
And
That's a good idea.
I think they come out and Caleb Williams, that defense kind of takes this a little personally. They get a shocking win on the road against the Redskins. They win.
I'm going to chime in on this, Luke. I'm going to go with the trend that if you – no, that was wrong about that. But, yeah, I like the Bears here. I think the biggest thing is that even I was high on the Commanders coming in this year, but quite literally after I made my predictions, I was like, you know what? I think they're probably the most overrated team in the NFL. And because a lot of people had probably winning the division this year or close with the Eagles.
I mean, I had them third.
Okay, yeah, but like the Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders were all 10-plus wins probably for all of us. And I don't think the Commanders get 10 wins this year.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
one of
this
them
is
will
one
be
of their
against the Bears.
losses, and I think the Bears get it done. I mean, the Bears' offense is slowly getting better. Like, it's slowly getting there, and I think this is another big step.
Well, that wraps up our Week 6 NFL predictions. Our best bets. Well, this is
Skip the first one, Will.
Yeah. When I want to say
Will's four best bets.
I want to say this. I looked at this first bet while I was in class, and I'm like, this is such a trap because, like, then again, they lost. I know they lost to the Saints, but you don't know what Giants team is going to kind of show up. They beat the Chargers, who I think the Chargers are still like a solid team. I know they don't have an offensive line worth of crap, but it's not like you're playing the Dolphins.
No. This is
So,
going to
like, I
age
was
well.
like,
This is going to age well. It's going to age well. I've got the Eagles minus 6.5. They are currently down 10 in the third quarter. Crap. Patriots minus 3.5 against the Saints. Steelers minus 5.5 against the Browns. Buccaneers minus 3.5 against the Niners. And I got Lions money line, which was plus money against the
Now
Chiefs, which is crazy. Luke,
yeah,
you got on that too.
yeah, and it's gone up plus 114 now. I've got Chargers minus 4.5. They played the Dolphins. Dolphins suck. I mean, there's no way that they lose that game. I don't think the Dolphins pass rush is elite enough, so I think they handle them. Then you got the Colts minus 7. The Colts thump people. They kind of just like bend them over, murder them.
Yeah, they do.
I'm gonna take the Colts. Then I got Quinshon Judkins to score. If
Oh,
someone's
100%.
Someone scored for the Browns, it's going to be him. And then I kind of like this play.
I do
Jonathan
too.
Taylor for 2+ touchdowns. When they beat the crap out of people,
He does.
tends to score
He
2 or 3
does.
times.
Yep.
So, I mean, I kind of like that. And at plus 210, I think that's pretty good odds for him. So I might have to play that this weekend. But those are my best bets.
All right, so going back over it, I've got the Eagles minus 6.5, which we'll miss probably. Patriots minus 3.5, Steelers minus 5.5, Buccaneers minus 3.5, and Lions money line. Luke.
I've got Lions money line. I got the Chargers minus 4.5, Colts minus 7, Quinshon Judkins score a touchdown, and Jonathan Taylor 2+ touchdowns.
There we go with that. Waiver wire must-haves for Week 6 as we move on from that debacle for me. Was surprised to see Michael Carter was only 53% rostered. He had 18 points last week against the Titans. And obviously, DeMarcado is not going to be getting carries. So give me Michael Carter, running back for the Cardinals. Luke.
I got Theo Johnson. He's playing tonight. He's done absolutely nothing, which is fitting. But last 2 weeks, he had I think 7+ targets in both of them. He's really good friends with Jackson Dart. I think they're either best friends or they're roommates. Had 2 touchdowns last week. He's a big red zone threat. So that's why I kind of like Theo Johnson.
Michael.
Yeah. I would pick up Keandre Miller if he's in your league. He got actually more rushing attempts than Alvin Kamara last week. And with the circulating trade rumors of Kamara going to another team, I would pick up Keandre Miller. I think he's going to slowly become more of the forefront back here, and they're going to trade away Kamara close to the deadline. And so then you have an RB1 on your team.
Fair enough. As Theo Johnson just caught like a 20-yard pass.
Bang.
MLB playoff peekend.
Hold on. I gotta ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't think the Phillies won.
So they did last night.
They did last night, yeah.
8-2. The
Okay,
Dodgers did just beat the Phillies, so it's 3-1 now. Cubbies and the Brewers. Cubbies are winning that game, so it should be 2-2 heading back to Milwaukee. The Tigers and the Mariners. We love Game 5s in the DS. 2-2 between them, and the Yankees lose. Do 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 do. I hope so. Yeah. Canada takes down the most expensive team in the AL. So there's your MLB playoff peeking. We move on now to something we actually picked. UFC Fight Night in Brazil. After a banger 320, we go into Fight Night in Brazil. Luke, I'm going to let you kick it off this time.
All right, so I'm obviously not as big into it as you are, but I like Oliveira. I mean, I think he's the legend. I just feel like it's going to mean a little more something because isn't he from Rio?
Yeah,
So-
he's from Brazil. So
Yeah, so I think it just means just a little bit more. I think he's going to find a way to get it done. So I got Oliveira.
How about the other 4 fights?
Oh, I thought we were going to like go back and sorry. I thought we were going to go back and forth.
No.
I'm also going to ride with Jackson. I think it's the significant strikes was just like a massive difference. I'm not mistaken. No, the significant strikes, he absorbs. That's what it was. He absorbs nothing. 1.3 shots per minute absorbed, plus he lands 3.2 significant strikes, which is more than the guy he's facing. So I do like Jackson. And then third fight, I'm going to take Alvarez. I'm riding with Will again here. I looked at the significant strikes. It's 4.5 compared to Luke is
Luke
5.0.
Vincent Luque.
But that dude absorbs 5.2 shots a minute, and which is a huge theme here for a bunch of these fights. Some of these dudes just
Yeah, the
take
Brazilian
it.
fighters just eat it.
Yeah, they just eat it, and I'm like, I mean, surely he's got to catch them at some point. So that's why I'm rolling with Alvarez, and then this is where we're different. I'm rolling with Mario Pinto. Now I do think he absorbs a bunch of shots, but kind of like the heavy. Yeah, he absorbs 5.2, but he connects with the strike 71%. of them. So he might not land so many, but a lot of his are going to connect. And I think for the big boys fighting, we'll get a nice little knockout from hopefully Mr. Pinto. Then I got Ramos in this as well. I'm going with the Brazilian again. Again, they're both coming off losses, but it's hold up. It's the significant strike. He's landing one more per his opponent, and the only thing that worries me is about 4 shots compared to his opponent's 3. Just worries me a little bit. I'm gonna roll with Will's ball knowledge. Roll with Rama. And then for my final one, I'm going with Aswell Jr. And I'm rolling with the American, who, again, significant strikes are a lot more. I'm going to take my 9.1 landed per minute, even though he absorbed 7.9. I'm going to take my 9.1 landed per minute to get a nice little knockout. I think this is going to end up in a knockout somehow, some way. And there's no taking it all.
And I'll work the opposite way. Almeida versus Aswell Jr. I like Almeida here by knockout. He's got a 6-inch reach advantage on the arms, 3-inch on the legs. He has won 24% of his fights by knockout, 41 by sub, 35 by decision. Wrong stats here. Let's start this again. I have Almeida. He is definitely winning this by knockout. He's got 60% of his wins by knockout. Yes, the other guy, Aswell Jr., lands at a 9.1 clip per minute. Although Almeida sitting around that 5 per minute, he absorbs significantly less. If you're just going to eat shots, we're going to start this main card off with a Brazilian winner, banger, Almeida by knockout. He will get it done. We've got Ramos versus Olfi. again, this is actually the 6-inch reach advantage. I think it comes down to grappling. I think Ramos tries to take this to the ground, and I think he's going to get a decision win. So I've got Ramos by decision against Con Olfi. So we're going back-to-back Brazilian dubs, and then I think we're going to get our third Brazilian dub with Jonathan Diniz. Pinto's 10-0, Diniz 9-1. However, I do think Diniz way better significant strike defense. That's really what all that matters for this heavyweights. It's going to end in knockout. Pinto absorbs 5.3 6 shots per minute, and Diniz lands 4.6. So I like Diniz by knockout here in the third fight. Fourth fight, Vincent Luque versus Joel Alvarez. Dude, this has Alvarez written all over it. Don't think Luque's ready for this fight. Luque's, he's fought a lot. Grizzled veteran. Alvarez, 3 inches taller. He's got an 1.5 inches on reach, 4 inches on his leg reach. I mean, I think this is an Alvarez by submission win for Joel Alvarez, the Spaniard. Montel Jackson's going to beat Figgy this weekend. Davison Figueroa versus Montel Jackson. Jackson coming off a win, Fig coming off a loss. Give me Jackson to move up in the rankings here. I do think this is a Jackson by decision win. I don't think it's going to end in a finish. And then in our final fight, Charles Predator Oliveira got rid of Dubrox, automatically lost Aura. Fighting my countryman, Mateusz Gamrot. Gamrot coming off a win, 25-3. Look, this is 100% a Gamrot win by knockout in the first round. Charles Oliveira came back way too quickly from this knockout loss to the Matador. But, yeah, Gamrot, first round knockout. Love it versus Oliveira. And that does it for our UFC picks and preview.
Jackson Dart went in the blue tent.
Hockey is back. This is our first full weekend of hockey, so we've got some picks. Me and Luke hitting with the Jets. Michael got the Kings. The Blues head to Calgary. Me and Michael with the Blues. Luke with Calgary. The Montreal Canadiens heading to Chicago. Michael and Luke with the Blackhawks. I'm with Chicago. Or Montreal, excuse me. The Sabres, worst team in the NHL by far, are heading to the Boston Bruins. We're chalk on the Bruins. The Maple Leafs, me and Luke had the Maple Leafs heading against Detroit.
I thought Detroit was bad. Well,
yeah, I thought Detroit was also.
Detroit is not bad, guys.
Aren't the Maple Leafs?
Maple Leafs are good. Michael and Luke have the Maple Leafs. I've got Detroit at home. The New Jersey Devils heading to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looks a little bit more locked and loaded than they did last year. We're chalk on Tampa Bay. We're also chalk on Florida hosting Ottawa. We're chalk on Washington going to the New York Islanders. Y'all two have the Pittsburgh Penguins against the New York Rangers. Rangers heading to Pittsburgh. I got the Rangers.
Would you say that's like a rivalry game?
Any like interdivisional game is a rivalry game.
That's an interdivision.
Now, the reason I went with the Rangers here, Pittsburgh got it done at New York on opening night. I do think New York gets it back in blood here. They're not going to lose 2 in a row to Pittsburgh. The Carolina Hurricanes hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. We want to talk with the Hurricanes. The Predators. We've got them beating the Utah Mammoth on chalk. We all have the Wild beating the Blue Jackets. Me and Luke went with the Avs at home against the Dallas Stars. Michael went with the Stars. The Oil. Blue at 3-0 lead against the Flames last night. I was in tears, but they're going to get done against the Vancouver.
Being a douchebag and not picking.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you would have been wrong, so it's fine. We are an Oil podcast. Go Oilers. We're talking with the Oilers here. Me and Luke went with the San Jose Sharks. Michael went with the Anaheim Ducks. Both two really teams that are young and building up. Both have potential to make the playoffs. Love what the San Jose Sharks are doing, though, with Macklin Celebrini. He's going to be elite for them. And we have all the Vegas Golden Knights. They're heading to Seattle. And on Sunday, we've got one game. Me and Michael went with the Rangers, and Luke went with the Capitals.
Hold on. Screw the Rangers. First time watching hockey, bet on the Avs, bet on Florida. Who ended up losing? Stupid Rangers.
Yeah,
so
also
I'm
miss
not
on
picking
that.
the Rangers. It's Ranger hate watch for me.
Look, I hate the Rangers more than anybody else. But you got
Miller doesn't. right? Isn't that Miller's team?
It's Miller's team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, screw the Rangers. Hate them. We are going to end our weekday episode with hot and not. And boy, do we have some hots, and boy, do we have some nots. My hot is birthdays. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm excited about that. Yeah, turning the big 23. It's my Jordan year. Yeah, I am unk. So I am going with my birthday for a hot, my not, Mark Sanchez. Look, when I first saw I got stabbed, I was like, oh no, man, someone like stabbed Mark Sanchez. Well, it wasn't exactly how it went down. So Mark Sanchez got in a verbal disagreement with a truck driver that pulled into a loading zone at a hotel who was driving a truck that would be unloading something. So I don't know why Mark Sanchez picked this fight. Apparently, Mark Sanchez got charged with a couple misdemeanors there. Got in a physical altercation, got stabbed.
Did you see the dude's face, though?
Which is going to be self-defense because Mark Sanchez seems to have attacked him. So my not is Mark Sanchez just ended his broadcasting career, his everything career. Hope he's got somebody saved up because he's going to need it. He's not going to be able to work anything in sports, and I'm sure he doesn't have that much brain capacity to do anything else.
Yeah.
So my not is Mark Sanchez.
And to touch on the Mark Sanchez thing, he literally stabbed the dude in the face. The guy can't talk. The old dude he stabbed, he's like can't speak right. So,
Sad, man.
No.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez did.
Anyways, my hot.
Woo! He's hot.
We're going with my little brother, Neil Wildman, who
Look him up on TikTok, guys. You'll understand what we're talking about.
posted a TikTok. Now, he's at the beach with his friends, and the friend is with, I'm pretty sure he's one of the triplets. There's triplets, and one's a dude, and there's two girls. I don't know if these are random girls or if these are all these.
There's 5 women in this
Yes,
video.
there are 5 women, and it's Daniel like coming up the back. And the caption or whatever is with the huzz. Like I'm like, what are we doing? Like that is electric. Because like it is the funniest thing. And the funny thing is, like I'm gonna get blamed for it, or Joe's gonna get blamed for it, even though that is Daniel's word because apparently it means hose.
Well, of course it does.
So I mean, like. Our mom is convinced we taught him that, which we did not teach him that.
I mean, he's coddled.
Yes.
He's coddled.
I know.
But he is with the husband. He is hot.
He is hot.
He is hot.
Also, another little wrinkle to this. I'm in class today, and I start getting spammed on my 360. Yeah, I'm like, charge your phone, then love you, like all the messages you can send. Daniel texted me, sorry. And he named some girl. She got my phone and started messaging you. And I'm like, what?
Animal.
Anyways, I mean, what a week for the Wild Ones. Anyways, my jeans. So sadly, it was about 12:30 today. We're offloading a pallet from the elevator. Of course, we don't have a long pallet jack, and the pallet is way
Some
longer
blue
than
collar
the
shit
jack.
out here right now.
So we cannot lift this thing off the ground. So I get low, I squat, I get to pick it up. Big ass pallet. I hear a tear. My whole left butt cheek is hanging out of my jeans. It is like 12:45, mind you, and I still have to work till 3:30. So also, there's been nobody up on this floor all day, and as soon as that happens, everybody decides to come up there and just start walking around, like doing stuff and looking at stuff. So I'm like moaning or half moaning, like all these random people. And like one guy was like walking past me, and he like double taked it. I saw him double take at me, and I'm like, okay, I know my ass is out. But I can't cover it up. I can't go home. So that is my knot. My jeans rip. It was kind of bad.
That is our hot knot. And that concludes episode 13 of Swiss Army Sports. As always, this has been Will Spain, Luke Wallman, and the producer, Michael Spain, signing off until Sunday when we recap all the shit we just talked about. Good night.